Hello, welcome to the Inner Circle. This week your host will be... Looks like I'm alone this time. I'm Greg Chance, I'm hosting the Inner Circle. It's the end of December, so everyone's celebrating holidays. If I missed you on Hanukkah, Christmas, Saturnalia, Ramadan, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, we hope you celebrate it. This Inner Circle, we're going to have Chris Drew and Michele McElroy talking about their sex life. Then we're going to have John Angeloni talking about his sex life. So we thank you for taking some time away from your holidays and sex life to watch the Inner Circle. All right. I am here with
Cristopher Drew.
Michele McElroy.
Here we go. All right. Easy question to begin. How were you approached about your parts? Celine.
Well, Dustin and I had been texting back and forth a lot, and one day he was talking to me, and he was just like, "Hey, so I'm doing this show again, and I was wondering if you wanted to take a role." And he's like, "It's not a very big role. It's just, something simple." And I was like, "Okay, well, what is it?" And he was like, "Well, basically, the show is a paranormal investigation show, and you're going to be a whore." And I was like, "Okay, let's do it."
Interesting reaction.
We talked about it for a little bit. I came over one night to watch one of the episodes get filmed, and we went back and forth with talking about how there was actually a character that he originally had in mind for me, and the person that he had approached to do it backed out of it. And he was like, "Well, I don't know if you want to do it. You live in the city. It's a bit of a drive to get here." And I was like, "Okay, well, tell me about it." And I really liked the character, Celine. And, I told him I would take it and see what happens. And here we are.
Okay. Flint, can I call you Emerson?
No,
Okay.
call me Flint.
Tell me about how you were approached for being Emerson Flint.
So I kind of have a fuzzy memory about all this because I'm kind of dumb with my memory. But
okay,
I believe Darcy had texted me asking me about the role of Flint. And I believe we talked over it at dinner. Our usual haunt is Applebee's. And,
This is true?
I forget how she explained it, but essentially the character is kind of just like me as it is, tech genius kind of guy.
Did you accept the role?
I did accept the role, obviously.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here for no apparent reason. And I guess the way she kind of had me angle it is just to kind of play myself and be kind of sassy about it, I guess.
So yourself.
Yes.
What is it like playing Chris Drew?
It's very enjoyable. I get a real rush from it.
Yeah.
I have to do a lot of method acting. I have to get into his head, who Chris Drew is, what his life is about.
I thought you were going to say you have to do a lot of meth.
No. Method, not method.
Method. I looking back, I know now, but in my head I was like, wow.
My teeth are good looking.
Well, I do coke before this show.
Yeah, but that doesn't mess with your teeth though. So.
Nope. All right. Let me look at my script here. What do you guys think about the show so far, and what do you think about your own characters? This can be a kind of we can all discuss.
You have a thought in mind? Were you ready to say something?
No.
No? Okay. Well, then I'll go.
Keep in mind the writers are watching.
Are they?
Dustin?
Yes. We love District 13.
In all honesty, I really like where the show is going. I was interested from the get-go. I was super excited when Dustin told me it was supernatural. It's definitely even though they were very similar in the, detective investigation kind of police work aspect to the system, it's definitely a far cry from the system in its own aspect.
Yeah.
I really like where it's going. I really think it's very, I guess, I can't find the word for it.
Okay.
It's really intricate. It's really well done. I think it's really well written. So. I greatly enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, I think like in comparison to the system, the writing has matured a lot.
Well,
Not with just the themes, but like how everything's stringed together better.
Mm-hmm. It's planned rather than just kind of thrown together to last
Yeah,
second.
it's not just, oh, what are we going to do now? We're not, they don't seem to be writing themselves into holes, which is always good, but that's not the crack on it, but it's good. It's good we're making progress.
Agreed. What do you think about your characters? Like, what do you think about Celine?
I think, to generalize it, I really think that Dustin and Darcy did a fantastic job with casting everyone. Everybody does have some kind of similarity to their character. They do have like a deep connection to their character. I really think the choices were very well done. I really like Celine as a whole. It's great fun playing a big red horse. I really do like Celine. I think she's a very complex character. You know, on the surface, it's all sex and you know, demonry, and it's
good word.
I made that word today. Thank you.
I like that.
No, it's you know, it's all sex and demon-esque doings, and then, you know, deep down there's a lot more depth to her than, you know, we'll compare it to Bobby Height.
Ha. Yes.
So
Yeah. Okay.
I really enjoy it.
What do you think about Emerson Flint?
Thank you.
Or Chris Drew.
Whoever you aren't, what do you think about him?
Whoever I aren't.
You're you, and the guy you play.
I like Flint. He's very much like a more down-to-earth version of Q. Like Q from
Yes.
James Bond.
Oh. No, I thought you were talking about somebody else.
No, not Q from Star Trek. Though he does have his sassiness.
Okay.
Anyway, that's actually a really good description. He's both Q from James Bond and Q from Star Trek. He's very
like
sassy.
QQ.
Yeah, he's double Q, Q squared. He's very sassy, but it also makes a lot of gadgets and stuff to help the team out and whatnot. Which is to the chagrin of like Dustin's character, Sam Damon, because he can't even handle technology, even though he's this great and powerful being or whatever.
It's very humbling for him to not be able to handle our earthly technology.
Yeah, and I think Flint's character kind of sees that and kind of just messes with him with it, knowing that he can't really like he could do something about it, but he's not going to, because then he'd be stuck without him.
Do you think Flint is scared of the demons he interacts with? Or the paranormals in general? Like, do you think Flint fears them in any way?
I think Flint might have been at first, but as time progresses, he might be less scared and just more cautious and wary of them. It's kind of like you can surround yourself by the animals, like a bunch of dangerous animals, and like eventually you don't get scared of them, but you have to be aware that it can bite you.
Yeah, you have to.
He also knows to not poke the bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mess with the bear, but don't poke it.
Because you will be set on fire.
Exactly.
Among other things.
Yes. We won't go into Sam's torture. Talk about the makeup process for you becoming Celine.
Okay, so it's long and frustrating. Usually the first thing is the contacts, always. You know, you don't want to stick red paint in your eyeball. Contacts go in. We usually start with the base makeup, sponging everything, and it takes so much longer than, say, Mammon or Sam, because Celine shows more skin. So,
That's true.
You know, it's not just my hands and my neck and my face. It's my hands, my arms, my chest, my leg from the thigh down, you know, part of my back. And it's just so... It's very tedious at times. I kind of get bored sitting there. Thank God I'm, you know, such good friends with Lexi that we can sit there and joke around about things in the meantime. You know, but it's definitely... It's interesting to look in the mirror when I'm done and see that I'm a completely different person, in a sense.
Do you like acting and makeup?
I do. I really like acting and makeup. My only issue is I wish we could set the makeup on the hands a little bit better, because by the end of the night, everything I touch is red. And, you know, my hands are now, you know, a soft pink instead of red. And it's covering up my tattoos is also another big hassle.
I can imagine.
So it's covering up the tattoos. I have to take out all of my face piercings. Thankfully, my ears don't get shown, or else they'd have to come out too. So
Hey, you
my
wear a
whole
wig.
ear. Yeah, I do.
I'm seeing it now. Makeup process?
So fun fact, I'm actually part of the Q contingent, so formless. So whatever I need to do, I just think it and I just turn into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love your
quite
hair.
a process.
Fascinating.
I love your hair, by the way.
Thank you.
Let's get even more awkward. What do you guys think about the Shelley Flint relationship that we're kind of seeing developing?
Shelley Flint.
Without...
Celine Flint. You know, we're the same person anyway. I'm a big red slut.
Her words, not mine. If Colton's watching. Her words, not mine. Don't hurt me. All right, whatever your name is, whatever your characters, the relationship, go.
I don't know. I think Flint kind of thought it was out of left field.
Yeah.
Like, a million years, in order to fall, he would be hooking up with Celine. On any regular basis, for that matter.
And is he out of your league?
I think to Celine, it's just another client to Celine, or it starts off that way, I feel. Because, you know, Celine even states that she's seen and done things that are, you know, 100 times worse on any level. So,
All right.
not saying that you're unattractive. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Who
No,
are
but-
you?
Who and what are you? My rates will vary. So I mean, it's, you know, you get some big ugly ass 8-eyed ogre walking through the door, and Celine's just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna charge you a little bit more. It's no. And then, you know, she's happy to be with Flint. So, and I think that's definitely, I think the relationship as a whole is awkward, but that's what makes it fun.
As they all are,
Yeah.
from what I can see. Okay. Talk about, like, the first day of shooting with you guys together.
I'm pretty sure I came downstairs and she said, "Hey, boo lover," and came at me, and I totally sidestepped her and looked at whatever the hell Colton was doing, because I'm pretty sure he was doing some sort of tabletop Star Wars thing, and I was more interested in that. And I'm kind of like, eh.
I did say that to him. My thought process was, I'm going to get into this beforehand. I've never met this kid before. As far as I know, it was my first time actually meeting Chris.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We may have, like, seen each other in passing.
I knew you, but we wouldn't really hang out that
Yeah,
much
like
before.
This was my
I
first time
didn't
actually,
know that.
like, physically interacting with Chris as a whole.
Yeah.
And
Like, we share
I
all the
was-
same friends, but we've never really hung.
Because, like, I've known
Yeah.
both of you guys for so long. I never thought that you guys didn't know each other.
So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to dive in head first, and I'm just going to approach him and immediately start flirting with him and see where this goes. So it's,
Wow.
So it's more comfortable, and it
That's
did not
even
work.
worse than I thought. I really didn't know that.
Yeah, I just sidestepped it. It was like, oh, hi.
I was like, hey. He's just kind of like, and then walked over to the table where Colton was, and then that was the end of it. And I was like,
Were you in
okay.
makeup when you first met him?
No. I
To
don't
be
think I
fair,
was
I
yet.
only did it because I saw Star Wars.
No, it's alright.
The inner nerd came out and was like, whoa, what is that?
Girl? No. Star Wars. I would have done the same thing. Good job. Okay. The next thing that we all want to know about is the BJ. Discuss the infamous blowjob scene. Talk about, like, how you got into it and, like, the off-camera fun stuff.
So, it was awkward.
Really?
Yeah. For obvious reasons, but another reason was her boyfriend was following it while he was in his army's fatigues. So it's kind of like, do I want to play it up, or is that just going to make it worse because he's right there? And I'm like, how do I even go about this?
Yeah.
Try to act natural with it. It's just.
And I'm pretty sure it was only our second interaction,
Yeah.
so it wasn't much better.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, Dustin's like, hey, Shelly, so, you play a slut, and, you're going to be a slut today. So I
You didn't
was
see
like,
it beforehand? You
this
didn't
is
see the script?
I think I may have. I think he sent it to me, and I may have looked at it, and I was like, okay, like this is gonna be fun, but getting here and actually
Didn't
having
see the
to
fine detail.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just one of those things where I was like, all right, so we're going full throttle, let's go, I guess.
Yeah.
It was
I didn't realize it until like I got to the set either, and was like, oh.
this is happening. I have to
Okay.
get under this desk in these 6-inch horns and these 6-inch heels and suck a dude's dick.
Not much more to ask. Don't make fun of me. Not much more to ask for the blowjob. Was it good?
B plus.
She anything red on it?
No.
Okay. Did it cost
Oh my god.
What?
It's just too much for me.
Shut up.
It's still funny to think about it. I mean, like going back to it now, it's
Yeah,
it's
'cause
it's
I
comical.
haven't seen you in like forever. Like literally, I only knew you a little bit in high school, and then suddenly, oh
Like,
hey,
we knew of each other, and
Yeah.
like, that was it.
and then suddenly you're just,
And now we're
Fake stuff in
acting
your
out
dick.
blowjobs.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the world you
Funny
guys
how
know
things
for.
change.
Yeah, one day you're passing in the hall, the next time you're sucking dick.
Oh my god. Next question.
Ooh.
Who's hosting?
Ooh.
Me. Next
Like a man
question.
in charge.
Okay. That's fun. What are your opinions of the other people you work with? And is there anyone that you have not worked with yet that you would like to? Discuss.
I hate all of you.
Okay.
I can't really complain. I really like working with everybody that I have so far.
Be nice.
I don't like phones.
Please answer the question.
I really liked working with everybody that I have worked with so far. I really, it's always something different no matter who you're with. I think Celine has only ever really worked with a handful of people at the moment.
Well, you gotta kind of be hidden as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, we have Vince, we have Sam. I'm trying to think of who else. Not really very many. Well, yeah, my boo lover. I think I'm really excited to work with Lucifer out of everyone.
Yes.
I just really like interacting with the other demons. I think there's a natural chemistry between the demons, like, and between the people who act as them on set. And I think it only adds to it. There's so many other things that I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil anything. So.
Okay, well, yeah, but that's all be...
Lucifer.
Don't
Lucifer
focus.
is the character that I most want to work with next.
Okay.
I don't really have a favorite person I like to work with. I like all of you guys. I'm gonna have to say the most fun is you, believe it or not, or
Moi?
John Raffici, because we can always joke around, and I think the chemistry works a little better with our characters.
Okay.
Person I would like to work with more is what everyone else has said, Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer. We all love Mike Friends.
He's a really good actor.
He's such a dick, and I just love it.
Yeah,
But
like,
he's
he's
not, though.
I love
It's
his
just
dickness.
so great.
like he's
It's another word I
brilliant.
made up, dickness.
He's
Dickness.
a brilliant actor.
Well, he's pride. That's what it is. So
It's-
it's just
yeah,
so much
it's
fun
great.
to see
It's-
that.
It's
And he portrays it
definitely-
so well.
And Mammon. Mammon is another great character. He's just a dick too.
Yeah.
I think it's just a demon thing. We're all just assholes.
Yeah, they're
So-
all dicks and you suck them.
Yeah.
Aha.
I'm sorry. I hope you're offended.
Are you sorry?
A little bit. As Leonard, I kind of want to meet you guys. So,
That'll be fun.
wink, wink to the writers.
That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
when is that gonna happen?
Hopefully someday. I'm getting really fucking tired of looking around for shit. I'm gonna find you. And you haven't fucking told me anything.
I can't.
You bastard.
You could just slip me a little message. Hey, Leonard, Sam's a demon.
But Leonard would freak out.
Leonard would freak out.
Have you seen Leonard's house?
Have you seen me? Imagine me finding out what I want to find out. Holy shit.
The world would end.
Forever.
Yeah, exactly. So we can't have that happen.
Fine. I want to work with Lucifer too. but not know that he's Lucifer. I want to see him in full makeup and just be like, "What's wrong with your head?"
That would be fun.
And then watch Leonard die.
Bye, Leonard.
How did Leonard die? Oh, he got set on fire by Lucifer. Write that in the newspaper. Okay, I'm getting bored of you two, so I think we're done here. Up next is my interview with John Angeloni and his sex life.
Wait, is there one?
Hi, John. Yes. How's my hair? Oh. Yeah. Your teeth are showing. Hello, I have Mr. John Angeloni here.
I guess.
Great. Vince Esposito. Let's dive right into it. What is it like being Vince? What is it like being a vampire?
Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, is that this was, when I was approached for this was probably, I knew this was going to be a dark character. I wasn't expecting it to be that dark, but this was going to be a really dark gig. But I'm really glad what they did with a vampire. Vampires are so cliched nowadays with the Twilight series and what have you. Nothing against the Twilight series, but it's really... It's just, they're really cliched now, you know, the second you mention vampires, you get a big roll of the eyes, and
it seems to be overdone, but
but
you breathe new life into it.
Well, not just me, the writers also breathe a brand new life into it. There's really, I'm just the meat puppet, there's really not a huge amount I could do if it wasn't a great, well-written character, and I'm very grateful for that it was as well, that Vince was as well-written as he was. Doesn't fall into any of the cliches, very damaged character in his own way, a lot of stuff he has to overcome. So he was an in-depth character, and those are the type of characters I love to play. Those with a little bit of meat to them that I can sink my teeth into. Then that wasn't a vampire
pun. Going with that, though, can you talk about when you were approached by, I'm assuming, Dustin and Darcy?
Yes.
About the part, like, what were your first thoughts?
I was approached by, and I'll go back, I was approached by Dustin. It was at the time that the system, our old, for those that are fans on the YouTube channel, that our old show, The System, was ending. And I thought that it was over, and I was going to, say goodbye to everybody, and I was going to move on to other acting gigs or something like that. But then Dustin approached me, and he told me he had another idea, keeping on the police procedural idea. But he had a different idea, and it was later, maybe a month or so later, that he approached me with actually what the show is actually about. And I will tell you that if anybody other than Dustin had approached me with this idea, I probably would have laughed and walked away. But with this, it was also the way he described it. He made so many connections with it, and something that he actually truly cared about, and he made me truly care about it. And so I said, and at the end of the meeting, I said, yeah, there's no way you're doing this without me. I'm sorry, it's not.
What did they tell you about your character, like when you first, like when they first sat down with you?
Let's say they told me he was going to be a vampire and a police officer at the exact same time. They told me he was going to be very old, which he is.
Which you play a lot of old characters. This is a little older than you're used to.
About to say, old and police officer seems to be a reoccurring theme with me. But, okay, I hold no grudges against anybody.
You're very typecasted.
Yes, I hold no grudges against anybody. But, and they said that he was, as I mentioned before, he was a complicated character, he was an in-depth character, and at that point, I was ready. I said, just give me the script and let me read it. I'm ready to go.
All right, so what is it like working with Dustin and Darcy and Joe? Like, you're the main, people you're with.
Well, it's good. I'm really glad that we have the old family. I've described it before from the system.
Yes.
Because I've worked with them all before. I know what they want. I know what they're looking for. They know my limits as an actor. They know what I can and can't do. So it's just great working with them. We're all friends. We very rarely get on one another's nerves. We do, but nothing like that where somebody's going to storm.
Never.
Nothing like that where somebody's going to storm out and say, I hate you, and leave, that kind of thing. So it just so happens we're all, unlike other TV shows, we actually kind of like each other here.
Well, we have a history, of course.
Yes, and like I said, and that goes back to the system.
But I mean, specifically Dustin, Darcy, and Joe, Sam, Rebecca, and
Chris. with Vince, I'll start with Sam. His relationship with Sam is complicated to say the least, because Sam has no limits to what he will do to get something done, to get what he wants.
What he can do.
Yeah, what he can do. And Vince has his limits. There are certain things, because Vince was once a human, and because he feels for the humans, there are things he won't do. He feels compassion, if you will, for the humans, being as he was a human at one point, and being now he really doesn't want to be a paranormal. He hates the fact that he's paranormal because of how it happened. We'll get into that.
See.
We'll get into that later. Because of how he became paranormal, he hates that. Sam, on the other hand, is exactly the opposite. Sam embraces the paranormal with him. And that causes a lot of problems. It also causes problems like when you have humans into it. Vince is more compassionate for humans, whereas Sam couldn't give less of a damn about anybody.
Okay. So what about Darcy?
With
Rebecca?
Darcy, with Rebecca, with those two, there's definitely there's a potential alliance there that Rebecca is willing, and again it ties back into Sam, is Rebecca is willing to work with Sam and do what she has to do with him. But at the same time, she realizes when Vince brings up, and we've seen this in episodes before, when Vince brings up that he's unpredictable, he's violent, he's incredibly powerful, that this is something we have to watch out for. And I don't want to give too much away. Maybe that'll come up again. Who knows? But there is actually Rebecca feels for what Vince is saying, but at the same time, she has a lot that she has to worry about. And Sam is, as she mentioned, was a better ally than an enemy. Agreed. And with Joe, with his character of Chris, again, because he's human, Vince feels compassion for that.
Yeah, and careful too.
Yes, he does have to be very careful with that. He feels compassion for the kid. If anybody who watches Chris's character, I think they all know Chris is completely out of his depth. Where he is. So, and I think Vince knows that. I think Vince understands that. While he's concerned for the fact that they're letting a human into a paranormal district run completely by paranormal police officers, I think he also he feels for Chris, and that'll come up more, I think, in season 2. How he does feel a lot of compassion for Chris, being that Chris is a human. I think Vince just feels for the humans because he was one. He feels for them as a whole. Okay. I believe.
Keeping with you feeling, and some people not feeling, your relationship with Sam, just purely as characters, not actors, how has it changed from the beginning when you were more like ready to be partners, and then when you didn't want to be?
Well, with Sam, where we stand now is that.
Well, no, don't give anything away.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't
talk about your.
I don't want to give too much away. It was with Sam. It was at the beginning. Vince would work with him. He was wary of him. He knew who he was. He knew what he was, and he was very wary of him. And he, like I said, knew he was violent. Knew he was unpredictable. Knew he had no compassion. Knew he had no scruples whatsoever. And then as time went on, he more and more saw that side of Sam. The whatever good there was, whatever good Vince saw in him at the beginning was gone, and he just saw the bad part of it. And that happened, I think, when we first met Mammon. He understood that with demons, that's how they can become.
Yeah.
He, as our viewers will probably know, he hated Mammon. Vince hates Mammon. So he sees
John Raffici.
I adore John Raffici.
We all do.
It was so damn difficult for me with those scenes when we're supposed to be, angry at each other and be this close away from each other. When he laughs in my face, that was so damn difficult to keep a straight face because I have to be pissed off. That was so difficult.
I can only imagine.
And I love the guy, but like I said, between him and Mammon, he hates Mammon, and I think he sees in Mammon what demons truly are, and that he sees what Sam truly is.
This is not what I'm supposed to ask you, but
sure.
Do you think Vince is afraid of Sam?
I think everybody should be a little afraid of Sam. Is Vince afraid of him?
You seem to intentionally push his buttons a little more than anyone else.
Oh, sure. Well,
because you don't like him.
Again, I don't like him, and that has gotten me into trouble before. We've noticed with this last episode that can get Vince into trouble. Sam is again incredibly powerful. Uh-huh. Wave of the hand, and Vince could not exist. Why Sam has not done that yet? Why Sam has not made Vince disappear into oblivion? I don't know. I think it's maybe because they want me on the show. But
I was gonna say the writers like you.
Yeah, that's probably why. But yes, as Vince, I do push his buttons a little more. Like I said, that's the morality in Vince coming out, and that clashes, as you mentioned, quite a bit with Sam's immorality.
It does. Going with you and Sam not liking each other. Mm-hmm. The scene where you and Sam had to go into the forest and you met Amber, Vivian. Mm-hmm. Talk about that day and how incredibly freezing cold and raining it was.
I've had some trying days on sets before. That's up there. That's not number one, but that's up there. I'll explain to the audience really quickly. We were in the middle of the woods. We had just gotten over a snowstorm, so nobody really wanted to be out there to begin with. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, we're in the middle of the woods. It has to be a little over
50 degrees.
something.
It was pretty cold.
Yeah,
it was
freezing.
raining.
Yeah.
So like between takes, you guys would go from like dry to like soaked.
It was around that time. We were in the woods with Amber. We were doing the scenes. You know, we were dressed well, but at the same time, like I said, after standing in the rain for that long, it was when we noticed that Amber's hands were turning blue, we realized we had to stop.
You got ink on your face from the script. You remember that?
Yes, I did.
It came off and it was on you.
Yeah, I was about to say, I had the script, if you'll notice, I had the script in a file folder. Just sooner or later, the folder just got so wet that I just threw the folder away.
There was no reason for it.
Yeah, and
That was an interesting day
Yeah.
with her shooting arrows at you and stuff.
yes,
Remember that?
that about to say, and I love working with Amber. She's a Cowboys fan, but we'll forgive that. I love working with Amber, beautiful person, and again, great actor. So it was a good time. And thankfully, when we got back to Dustin's place, his mom had towels, which is, I've never been happier to see a towel in my life. You know, managed
That was quite a day. But talk about like working with her, like just her specifically on the set.
I was about to say, with Amber or with Viv?
Well, Amber and Vivian. Your
Well, I was about to
character.
say, like I said, working with Amber is always a treat. Like I said, she's a great actress. A lot of good ideas. Again, she's worked with us for a long time, so she knows the formula around here. And I think with Viv, it was interesting with Viv, and I do hope we explore this a little more, Dustin, is that
Writers, hint, hint.
it was interesting with him and Viv. There was the compassionate connection between the two of them that I haven't really seen. It was Vince's normal compassion coming out. That's his problem, I think, is he's a little too compassionate.
Yeah, especially being a cop.
Yes, he's a little too compassionate. That might be part of his problem, but there was that passionate connection between the two of them that I hadn't seen before, and it was nice to experience that as Vince. That was nice.
Okay. Now, what was it like working with the big one, Lucifer, Mike Friends?
Oh, Mikey. As his par for the course with most demons, Vince doesn't like them.
No.
He really doesn't like this guy. Lucifer.
He's the head honcho.
Lucifer to him is a pompous ass.
Wow.
Which
He has pride.
And yes, and Vince really doesn't like to suffer him. I'm sure Lucifer doesn't like to suffer Vince either. But and it's just and it does. It makes me feel so bad because you know how close Mike and I am.
Oh,
you
well,
know.
we're all good friends.
Yeah, you know how much I love Mike and how much of
He
it.
really does turn on, like, not, you don't want to like him when he's Lucifer, but
Yeah,
it's
but it's
so
damn
different
difficult.
from him. Like, it's such a good performance that
Yeah.
you wouldn't know
It's
how
not
sweet of a guy he is.
and that's the
How douchey Lucifer
Yeah,
is.
and
Like,
that-
for no other way to say it.
And this is the great thing with Mike Franz is that, and I'm sure the audience has seen this, is that he disappears from those characters. The minute you say action, bang, he's Lucifer.
Amazing. It's a sight to behold.
Yeah.
But
It was
Vince and Lucifer.
I was gonna say, it was when I knew Mike was coming on set as Lucifer. That's when I said, well, I'm dead. I have to pick it up a little bit. Vince's, like I said, the two of them obviously don't like each other.
Yes.
Again, Vince, and I'll say this about Vince, his other biggest problem besides the compassion is the fact that he doesn't pick his battles very well. He gets on the wrong side of beings that could very easily snuff him out of existence. That's part of his problem.
Yeah.
But again, somebody has to.
Gotta be nice.
Yes. So, and as I mentioned, Lucifer to him, and Lucifer I think comes off to everybody as just a pompous ass. Even to Sam, I would say he comes off as a little pompous. As you mentioned before, his sin is pride, so that does make sense. And Vince would rather not be in the same room as him ever. If they never cross paths again, Vince would be very happy never to see him again ever.
All right, without spoiling the ending of the season,
Do our best.
Matt Howard, Hightower,
Yes.
go.
With Matt Howard as Hightower, between him and Vince, there's a connection there. I mean,
Yes.
we've seen it with that one very small scene
You know something's
in the
up.
station. There is something there between those two. I'm not going to give away what it is, but there is something there, and it is going to play heavily into the season finale. So please stay tuned. There is that little bit of hatred there, and we're going to figure out why.
Seems
And
pretty strong.
yeah, and there's a big reason why there's that. I shouldn't even say a little bit, a lot of bit of hatred.
But what about, like, this won't be a spoiler, but working with Matt Howard on set?
Oh, and I've known Matt for a long time. He and I have acted on stage together before, so I've known Matt for a long time. and it's good working with him. Big guy, funny guy, jovial guy. He's just an all around fun human being to be around. And again, same thing with him and Mike. It's damn difficult that you have to hate them when you've been basically brothers for so many years.
All right then. Any last thoughts?
Like I said, guys, please stay tuned. For those of you that are on our YouTube channel and that have liked the channel and are watching, we have our hardcore fans out there. Thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Is that we're small local film guys. We're not going to get much help from much of anybody. So, thank you guys for sticking around.
You are our lifeblood.
Thank you very much. That was not a vampire pun. I promise.
No, I didn't even think of that. All right, John. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Stay tuned for some more good shit.
Good night, YouTube.